As soon as the movie ended, he immediately went, "You!" and lunged at me.
Man, I had to.
And I couldn't blame him.
Detroit. Oh, let me go ahead. One of them racial tension movies right here. Y'all know. Well, look, it's gotten to the point now where it's good for people to know the struggle, as they say, the plight of the colored people. Sure. Let them know that, yes, our history is tainted and we need to actually keep having these dialogues. But a lot of people come out like, that's great that we spoke, but I'm getting tired of this slave shit. Can we get a balance? For every slave movie that comes out, can we get a Black Panther? Shit, I'll even take a Falcon if you got one.
Shit, we'll take War Machine.
Yeah, we'll take War Machine. Both of them. But a lot of people are looking at this, and they're so tired of all the movies about race, especially with black people, where it shows black people being beaten down and killed and tortured, where they're just saying, I just don't know how to feel about this because this is probably one of the most uncomfortable movies of that type. This takes place during the Detroit riots of 1967.
50 years ago.
50 years ago. A lot of people were fed up. A lot of people were angry about a lot of things, including police brutality. And they thought that tearing up the city, which, people have their opinions about that, they thought showing the frustration would actually maybe start to make things clear. But actually, it only got worse from that point.
Police! Assume you're all criminals.
You don't talk about this to anyone ever. You understand?
You made it into the movie.
Oh, yeah. And this right here, you got them eyebrows for that. If you're listening, we're looking at Will Pulter, I believe his name is. And I
swear to God, every time I look at that kid, he just looks like a ventriloquist dummy that got visited by the blue fairy and brought to life.
He really does. He looked like some shit that belonged in Goosebumps or something.
Yeah, slappy.
Like if you put some freckles on his cheeks and draw a line down his mouth, be like, oh fuck, you should be sitting on somebody's lap who's drinking milk at the same time. But don't let that ventriloquist dummy face fool you. Just like a lot of dummies out there, he's evil as fuck. I like this movie for what it's trying to do, and I don't want to come in and make light out of other people's pain or a story that really needs to be told. But man, this movie is just going in too many different directions. It's too many tones going on. It's almost like I'm watching 3 different films that they're just trying to cram together in one. I believe that the 3 tones in this film all serve a purpose. And that's the thing about it. You can have a movie with so many different tones. You can have a movie with that feels like 3 different films. But if they work together, if they lead up to another story properly, if they are set up for another narrative or another chapter, and most importantly, if they're done well, then to me, that was intentional, and the movie knew exactly what it was doing instead of somebody who just had schizophrenia coming in here and doing this. You understand what I'm saying now?
Sure.
This movie's getting, and I'm about to toss this to you guys because this movie's getting a lot of flack, not from white people. White people scared to say anything. They're like, oh, this is such an important story. It must be heard by everybody. But black people are like, yeah, fuck this, man. And part of it probably has to do with the way the movie goes in so many different directions, but there's other things that happen that we'll talk about. But how'd you feel like, initially, your reaction to this, at least from a production angle?
Well, what you say about the different tones, I didn't think of that as a negative at all. I saw how it was just showing different aspects of what was going on at the time, but it was all leaning toward one central thing.
The movie's in 3 chapters to me, and each one of those chapters are meant to just take your soul and crush it more each time. Like you think your shit is broken before, let the next one come up. This thing will take your fucking heart and just stomp that shit into the ground. And that's what I'm talking about when people like, I had so many people coming at me talking about the Emoji Movie, man, fuck you. That movie made me so mad. People talking about crush my soul. Y'all don't know nothing about soul crushing. Them fucking faces and heads and emoji, y'all let that ruin your day. These cartoon characters, this is real shit.
Yeah.
This happened. This is real soul crushing right here. Because I don't want to say nothing because I want to spoil the review because I want to tell y'all so bad in the review for emoji. Fuck you. I seen some soul crushing. My soul is gone with this shit right here. When you have, now this is directed by Kathryn Bigelow, as I said. White woman. Talking about the black struggle. That's what some people are mad about right now. She don't know nothing about my life.
Hey, Spielberg did it with the color purple. It's all right.
I know, but that's what people are saying. Man, now we got more than Hollywood. How come she get to tell that story? Well, for one, black people don't even know about it. They got. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm the same way. I was like, oh, this happened. I mean, I know Detroit sucks, but Jesus.
Yeah, I'd heard the riots mentioned in passing here and there, but I didn't know. I didn't really know much about the story at all.
I'm sure Kathryn Bigelow went to Spike Lee and said, "Hey, you know about the Detroit riots and the Algiers Hotel, right?" And he's like, "I don't know about that shit."
That's not in Harlem.
Anybody? Any of you Negroes? No, I don't know. Fuck, I'll make it myself. And that's where the real core of the story comes in. The core of the story comes in when these guys go to this hotel. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But before we get to that part, when I say this is 3 movies in 3 chapters, Kathryn Bigelow, if you don't know anything about her, she won the Oscar Best Film that year for The Hurt Locker. There was a movie about PTSD and being addicted to the military life, and one of the things that people really loved about the movie is that it has so much tension. It has so much suspense. There was a guy who was a bomb diffuser. Jeremy, what do you call it? Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye. Before he was with the Avengers, he was in the U.S. military.
And the Falcon.
And the Falcon.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie.
Before Avengers, there was Hurt Locker. But
flies away.
But that's the thing about the beginning of the movie is that the first part that you see is actually it's a war movie. The first part of the movie, they're going through, and you see where it's the riots going on, and you're going through the riots like it is a war zone, handheld, mixed in with real life footage, and it just feels uncomfortably real. I mean, and she's putting you right in the middle of the action. Now, if nothing else, even if you have something to say about the message of the movie or the social aspect of it, what she did right there from a director standpoint was amazing.
Yeah, and the fact that the stuff leading up to this, because it wasn't just like, boom, you're in the middle of a riot. It's like, all right, we're having a little party, and then, the police come and something goes wrong, and then, boom, now you got a riot going on. Yeah, everything escalates.
And they're already showing you people dying. They're already showing you the police just picking off people in the riots.
Yep.
And the movie never tries to make anything feel movie sympathetic. It's not like when a black dude gets shot in the street and his last words are, "Tell my mama I love her." No,
there's nothing romantic about it.
No, people just keep talking and trying to rationalize what happened to them. They just bleed to death.
Yeah, man.
The words just trail off, and it's hard to watch.
Yes.
I mean,
and that's only in the very beginning.
That's the first death.
like when you're thinking like, "Whew, all right, at least we got that out of the way." No.
And then the character that it was, you're like, oh, like I know who that guy is. He's gonna be in this for a long time.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, don't get attached to anybody.
So that like a Saving Private Ryan.
Shut up, white woman. No, I'm sorry.
I was waiting for it.
No, I know you know. In only a couple of weeks, you know me so well. But I'm sorry, you were saying.
I was saying if like a Saving Private Ryan kind of thing.
It's the black people's Normandy. I mean, it's Detroit.
I just meant like the grit, like in your face death, in your face, like not really.
It's a very matter of fact the death in here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's the setup for this, and this is what I mean by they just set you up just to keep crushing you, man. The setup in this war part, they actually give you a diversion. A MacGuffin, as they say in the cinema lingo. And what they do here is that they give you a little bit of nostalgia. Part of the direction that you see for that war film footage that's going on and the feel of it. At the same time, I'm amazed the way Kathryn Bigelow is able to capture some real nostalgia for Motown. Mm-hmm. So it's a nice period piece where in the middle of all this chaos, she's able to capture the cool of Motown. And when and while you're looking at the cool of Motown, you got a little bit of innocence in there. You got 4 young men maybe 5. I couldn't count them. I lost track. There's 4 young men, maybe 5, and they later become this group, the Dramatics, a real group. But you see them practicing, rehearsing. All they want is their time to go up there, show the crowd what they have, and get their big shot. And in the movie, it distracts you because you kind of get caught up in that story for a little bit, and it's so distracting from. It's a great setup to like take you away from the real violence that's about to occur.
The traveling man was told
Like,
that he did.
hey, why don't you just go riot or something?
No, that was such a great scene, man, because like the city's being torn apart outside, and everybody's just in there having a good time, being just like not knowing what's going on outside. I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh,
There he is.
Yeah, a substitute white person. Come in.
Trade out. Take a break, white person. Come on in. Junior varsity white person.
Hi, guys.
Caught you just in time. We were talking about Detroit and how much we really hate the white man, right?
Yeah, I figured. Like, as soon as the movie ended, he immediately went, "You!" and lunged at me.
Man, I had to.
And I couldn't blame him. I was like, yeah.
No, Gertz, don't you take that. It's not all the white people, just the ones wearing badges.
He had one at the time.
This would be funny.
It was a Power Rangers badge. Nevertheless, no, we'll get to you in a little while.
Okay.
We'll get to you.
Okay.
That next chapter that comes up, chapter 2, that's a fucking horror film.
Yes.
Yeah.
That shit is. I would dare say, it is more horrifying than any horror films that I have seen, because these are real people not only committing torture and death on other people, but they're real people, and they're young, and it goes on and it goes on, and the way they do this, I mean, and this is the part, and what sets this off is that they have the kids that you see with the Dramatics, the manager and that kid Algee Smith, they get caught up in the riots, and they try to get out of it by going to the Algiers Hotel, and that's the famous case, the Algiers Hotel case. You get there in the middle of these riots and shooting and snipers in some windows. Eazy-E decides to set off a startup pistol.
Yeah, man. It's like, what are you doing?
I mean, these people didn't deserve it, but maybe that guy did. But it was like, wow, it was a powder keg that was lit by that. And it doesn't really justify what happens next, because the police come in and they just mentally torture these people before some deaths occur. And it's one of the most sadistic things I've ever seen on film. More than Hostile, because this is based on a real case. I'm going to tell you right now, well, actually, I'll tell you later, the violence that we see on the screen there, they say it's not even close to what happened in real life, if you take it by one person's account. And they film it like a horror movie. Like, even though it's in the city, the outsides are surrounded by dark woods.
Sure. And for that time, as a viewer, you were trapped right along with these kids.
Yep.
And it seems like it will never end.
And yep. And these kids try to get away, and they're going down these tight, shadowy corridors while the monster, the monster being the cops and the police and the military, are right around the corner about to discover them.
Yeah.
They even, right down to the dialogue. They got dialogue straight from a horror movie that they put in here.
I need you to survive the night.
I need you to survive the night. We've heard that shit in horror movies. We don't. And that it goes on and on. That's the problem that a lot of people have with this, because they're bringing back a very infamous term, which is torture porn. People used to use that all the time until it kind of got phased out. And a lot of people are saying this is torture porn of the worst kind. That's slavery shit too, where you see somebody getting whooped and whooped and whooped.
I don't know. I just feel like it was a really well done bottle film for the chapter 2, because with the first part you got to see, all right, here's all of Detroit, here's what's going on here, and here, and now here's a little small story. I'm like, all right, that's a good a shift in tone, and let's see how we're gonna go with it, and it picked it up wonderfully.
No, it did. I'm just saying, for a lot of people, it is so uncomfortable that they can't take it, and I can't blame you. When I say this is a horror movie, this is like watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with more blood. And by the end of it, all the white people root for Leatherface. You know?
There was never a point where the violence felt gratuitous.
No.
It felt very real.
That's why a lot of people complained about torture porn back in the day, because they felt like movies called Hostel, where they just had torture scenes that went on and on. You were doing that for entertainment for all the horror gore fans. This is necessary because I will tell you, this is one of the few times in a movie where I've said, you know something? We've had movies where they've shown people being hurt and being beaten and being tortured, but this is the one that actually put you in there and made you show not just the horrors of police brutality or racial brutality, but just people are assholes, man. Human beings need to fucking go off this planet.
Yeah.
They didn't even give me any clips of the middle part, which is too bad, because there's one reason to actually show you any of what happened in those scenes is for the performances. Will Pulter, man. The guy we said looks like a ventriloquist dummy. He's in this movie. He is the new white actor that I hate.
He replaced your Fassbender?
The Fassbender Club?
He replaced Fassbender for me. Y'all know I was mad at Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave, and it was hard for me to get over that. But then I look at that handsome face, and I was like, I can't stay mad at him.
Never do that to me, though.
Yeah, you know.
David.
Look at my face, Korey. You can't stay mad at me. Yeah. Look at me, baby. You can't stay mad at me, baby. But Will Pulter, he ain't handsome. I will never forgive this motherfucker for this. In fact, I think Will Pulter, the actor, not the guy, not the character, the actor, I think he's fucking evil. Because I look at those eyebrows. Yeah. Those are villainously arched eyebrows right there. You don't have eyebrows like that unless you have bodies somewhere that you've hidden.
It's not just the eyebrows, just the whole way his face is put together. It's like, you look at it, it's like, this is just wrong.
He looks like a character from Green Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does. He really does. Like, if you notice he has hair. He looks like a skinhead.
True.
Man looks like a perversion.
I always think, when I look at him, I think Deliverance. I just hear the banjos playing in my head.
Oh, Jesus, man. You know what? Because when he has a British accent.
I think his mother and father were brother and sister.
Yeah. And Martin, you know, this would be the time I'd be like, hey, man, be fair. Don't do that to somebody. But I hate that motherfucker. That actor, I fucking hate him. He has sex with dead bodies. I hate this motherfucker, man. And the thing is, it doesn't help that he's been an asshole most of the times that we've seen him. Maze Runner, asshole.
Yeah.
He started out as an asshole. He's like the fucking Omen, like Damien. When he was a kid, in movies, asshole, son of Rambo, the bully.
You're going to be the stuntman in the film I'm making for Screen Test. And you're not allowed to tell anyone, or I'll smash your face in.
Asshole! 12 years old. Look at him, evil as fuck. Yep. I smash your face in, mate. You know, fuck you. He's the motherfucker's the Antichrist. And the reason why we're saying all this is because he did his job way too well. Even I can't see him any different now than our evil racist fuck. They try to pass him off as innocent and nice and charming sometime. Oh, he's a sweet-natured nerdy guy from We're the Millers.
I seen a rainbow yesterday, but too many storms have come and gone, leaving a trace of not what God given me. Is it because my life is...
See, they're all scared. You see? Yeah. Ain't nobody think this is funny. They're all like, this motherfucker's gonna kill us all.
I know, but I gotta give it to him, man. For a Brit, he has a very distinct American accent, like he comes from Alabama. A lot of half of those Brits, they sound like they come from nowhere, USA. That's regional. That's good work.
He's a serial killer.
He killed a man and took his accent.
Wore like a flesh face.
Like Ursula took his voice.
Give me your accent. People just being turned into a husk. But I'm saying this as a way to give him a compliment, because there's been critics. I'm not the only one. There's been critics who say it's really going to be hard for me to forgive this guy. Like, what do he do to you? He performed too well. Because they'll even say this. A lot of people are saying, I don't throw this word around easily, but they said this cop who was based on in real life was fucking evil, man. I was like, this is just going to make me angry. It's gonna make me sad. I mean, it's and that's the other thing about it. I mean, there's so many things that cannot happen for this movie. Like Will Pulter, he gives an Oscar-worthy performance. You better not give it to that motherfucker.
I should do this more often. Win another Oscar. No!
Yeah. No, this is like this is really like giving an Oscar to a racist if you do this.
Doesn't Mel Gibson have one?
Well, he's one in real life.
That was before we knew.
No, okay.
Yeah. He acts like he's not. You know? He should get an Oscar for that.
That's true. Lifetime achievement.
Yeah.
And for fooling the public for 40 years.
Yeah. Thanks, Sugar Tits. I mean, Charlize Theron, thank you.
What the fuck?
The other big performance in here that if you have to say that this guy is going to blow up. He shows so much promises. So much promise in this. And I'm talking about Lil Denzel.
Lord Jesus, man.
Man, y'all the ones that got on me the other day. Like, I wouldn't be John Boyega. Man, you got to admit, that's Denzel.
That ain't giving him an Oscar, though. Algee Smith did way more than him.
I think Jacob Lattimore did better than him.
You know what? Let me just make an argument here, because I have been saying I want John Boyega to let Boyega be Boyega. And then I looked at this movie, I was like, fuck. He is channeling Denzel so much. Somewhere.
So when you gonna make Training Day 2?
Yeah, if I can find him. It's got to happen. Yeah. Let me be Ethan Hawke, man. Let me get whiteface for you. No, this is he is Denzel so much that somewhere the real Denzel, he's just slowly disappearing, man. he's like Marty
Back to the Future.
Yeah, he's like Marty McFly looking at his hand. What the fuck? But what was his character's name? Melvin. His character's name was
John Q.
I don't remember his last name, but I remember
he plays a security officer that's got the toughest role in the movie, probably, where he's just trying to keep the peace with the whole neighborhood that has lost its mind, which means having to go and talk to some of the people that could be considered to have caused this violence or adding to it.
Hey, all things considered, this is pretty good.
Thank you. I would have my usual appliances.
How you got it, sugar?
Don't push it, man.
Boy, don't tell me you don't see Denzel in that shit right there.
He eat everything but walk him and go, ha ha.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
To the white people, my nigga. Have some coffee. But you saw him, like, he even has the mannerisms in his head. There are moments where he does that a signature Denzel move. Denzel got one move where it's so subtle, where he'll cock his head back, got them lips, and he'll just keep blinking. I call it the I know you lying look. Like, yeah. And like, I'm gonna let you finish, but I know you fucking lying. And I'm gonna make you feel stupid when you do it. Because at the end, I'm gonna call you on your bullshit. And there are moments where he's looking at people, even when he's confused, he's looking at people shaking their head. And I'm like, oh my God. This is the coming of the second coming of Denzel. I was like, this is the, I'm
coming of you.
Yeah. I'm like that dad. Yeah, I am. I'm like that dad that never made it as an athlete. So this is my kid that's actually becoming like he's going pro.
That's my boy right there.
That's it.
Man, he don't even know you.
That's my Denzel. Yeah, man, I love it. You can see him doing the move right there. Mm-hmm. It's and the reason why I'm saying that he is probably the most complicated character in the movie, because he knows that he has to watch what he says to people and watch where he says it. Sometimes he has to just sit back and watch because he doesn't want to make things worse. So the white people think, oh, come this nigga, and then the black people like, here come this Uncle Tom. Mm-hmm. And the sad thing about it is, Soul Crusher #2, they show that every good deed either goes unnoticed or gets punished. Yeah. There's one part in the movie where you see all the good that he tries to do, and in a movie that's already depressing, you see it's...
Sometimes when a black guy is put in a position of authority, other black guys, they like to single you out. I'm not supposed to tell them what to do.
When we have these conversations, you're a suspect.
Goop. If you look at that face, and I paused it on there for a moment, because he does a lot in the movie where he speaks with his expression, and a lot of people are not going to take it as a good performance because there's so much performances in here that are heated, that are loud, that are people just having to do a lot of body language and a lot of dialogue, but he was able to sit up there and you see the frustration and the fear on his face. Mm-hmm. And I thought that and I think a lot of people are getting him credit for that, but it really does need to be noticed, because while everybody's doing their thing that's very obvious and upfront, he's the one that's sitting back speaking with his face most of the time. And to me, yeah, the Denzel Washington factor makes it a favorite, but our favorite of mine. But I do think that this guy is going to be one of the actors. If he doesn't get an award or get recognized, he's going to be one of the actors that we're going to see blow up. He already is, but you've never seen this side of this kid before. Another young actor too. This girl, Hannah Murray from Game of Thrones. I kept looking at her face and saying, "What is she from?" And she's what's the chubby guy that kills White Walkers? Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's his girlfriend.
That's Sam's chick.
Right. She was in Skins. Yeah.
Oh, was she? I never saw Skins. But she plays Julie in the movie. She's one of the two white girls that makes the situation worse. But she's great because she is having to balance between being defiant and also being terrified.
I like that the two girls, especially her, they were certainly pulled off being terrified, but were also, as white girls in that situation are, where they're still trying to talk back, and you're just like,
because they know they can though. Yeah.
What are you doing? We have rights. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? Fuck Jack Reynor, man.
Man, I really liked his character, even though he did some like scumbag shit. Like I feel like he embodied that rookie role really well, because you can see the whole time he looks like a deer in headlights.
He does. Yeah, he looks like someone that's very easy to manipulate.
Very much a follower.
And they do. And you want to feel bad for him, but you can't, because you know that he's being manipulated by the situation. But that manipulation is also infused by racism. Before it happens, before he does anything, it's like, okay, I really didn't want to do this, but it's easy because I don't like Negroes.
See, I felt like it was the other way around. It's like, I don't want to do this, but I kind of have to, because if I don't, they're going to get me too.
I'll forgive him because
character,
he's handsome. Yeah. No, character, but he's good looking enough. He'll be all right.
Is that from Transformers?
Yeah, that is from Transformers, man. Yeah, another reason I hate his ass. Yeah. The last chapter in this, which we'll cover really quick, is the courtroom drama. The courtroom drama, soul crushing number 3, and this is the one where it really you're dead by the end of this movie.
You just wait, get it over with.
Yeah,
that's true. You're just so happy that second act is over, and then you go into the third act. You're like, well, nothing for me.
And if people know the history, the movie kind of just makes you believe that something good is going to come out of this. Nothing. You see how this doesn't get any justice here. You see how you see how horrible the crime is, and that a lot of other people are now seeing how bad that is, and you just feel sad that it takes something like this 50 years later to even make people even think about it. You hear about the how lives weren't really, you think black lives don't matter now. Back then they weren't shit. And you also read about how horrific the crime was. There's a woman who's 81 years old now. This is from The Root. First female deputy police chief, black female deputy police chief. She's actually 86 years old. You can see her picture right here from a while back. And she describes how there were some things that weren't even admitted into the case when it went to court. Things that they admitted a lot. And one of the things that they don't even show in the movie, she said there were some white girls there with the young man. They were willingly there. That upset the police. The officers divided those kids up and took them into different rooms, beat them up, and did some awful things to their bodies by ramming things into their genitalia and up their anus. You don't even see that in the film. And I'm telling you, they did that because they probably just said, this will literally kill people.
Well, yeah. Look, it's as effective as it is now. You can imagine if they included everything that's in there. And if you go like, oh, come on, that's too much. And they've been doing that even in the last few years. There's been cases of this kind of thing happening.
Out of this whole case, they say that the important players, there's 3 people who are still alive. I believe, I'm not sure, but I think Melvin might be still alive, but I know that one of the cops, 2 of them are dead. David Sinek is one of the cops. He's on the far right. This guy right here. He's one of the surviving policemen right now. And the lawyer, who has a different name in the movie, I believe, Norman Lippert, who's played by John Krasinski, who I used to really like. John Krasinski. That's such a sweet guy.
Yeah, you just could not like him anymore.
Fuck that dude too. Hate your ass too.
And he's only on screen for 6 minutes?
Yeah.
So he comes in the door. Fuck that guy.
6 minutes gets you a lifetime I hate. Because he plays the lawyer who got them off. And this guy, Norman Lippett, not only is he still alive, but he is very flippant about the whole thing. Doesn't care. He said, telling people move on. He's saying that I was just doing my job, and not
Which
like
he was,
and we was, but to the point where he tells you, look, man, I'm out to win. And he's done this for the Detroit Police Department, where they say he got a lot of policemen off of murder charges. This is what really gets black people with the movie. They're like, you know what? Fuck this, man. I'm not going out to watch not only just some violence, subserving black people shit, but black torture porn. I don't want to see this. And I would say, you know what? Completely understand where you're coming from, because it's a hard thing to watch. But think about how horrifying this is to you. And then think about for the people that never really thought that something like that, people, that human beings who are in a position of authority could not do this level of violence, these people who are naive about it. Think about how much of an eye-opener this is for those who will see it that way.
Mm-hmm. If you want to sit through a horror movie, I say you should be made to watch this and see something real.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, man?
I really like this movie a lot too. It's definitely one of my favorites this year. It practically plays out like 3 movies. Like the first one being pretty much like a war film with all the riots in Detroit. Wow. And then
you weren't behind the corner just listening
to the show.
No, no, we didn't.
No,
is that what you said?
I did say that. Oh, please keep going.
And the second one, like we discussed, is a horror movie, and the third part is like a shitty procedural, like shitty for what happened, not for the actual film.
Yeah, keep going.
But
you get to live.
if I could be critical of it for one thing, I do think that third act, I just don't think it's quite as strong as the first 2.
It's extremely hard to watch, but you should give it to yourself to watch it one time. You know, go watch the Care Bears or some shit before you go. You know, give yourself an extra dose of happiness. Take some ecstasy or something. I don't know, but do not
watching this.
No,
they're gonna be in there like, let's get into it, honey.
Trust me, if you are high on ecstasy, you will get brought down. You might level out. That's what I'm telling you.
It's a waste of your money.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Yeah. Go make something. Get an extra dose of happiness and watch this.
Book a massage for afterwards.
Yeah, this is and rinse it off with something else. It's a full price movie for me.
Really, the only thing keeping it from being a better than sex movie for me is I feel like that the pacing near the end, I felt it dragging a little bit. It was odd coming out of the theater because everyone was like, "Wow, that was great," and I am fucking pissed when that movie was done.
The police actually showed up.
Yeah.
Did
you talk about that?
Are you serious?
Like in the movie. We ain't gonna say their names, but somebody started some shit with their feet.
Yeah.
And somebody, you know how people get upset about that rail that's in front of them when you put your foot up?
Yeah.
Somebody had their foot up. Somebody didn't like that foot being there, grabbed that foot and pushed it down. Somebody started talking shit, and the police came and kicked all their asses out.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And the police actually came back and said, you know what? I think I'll sit back and just watch this free movie right here. And halfway through, like, fuck this. and ran out that shit.
Yeah, there was a fight breaking out. That fight was breaking out right when I arrived.
Yeah, me too. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
The funniest thing, it was a white woman.
Yeah.
So like, I think you picked the wrong theater to show out in, because it's black with black faces.
Oh wow, that's almost happened before when I was sitting right there.
Yeah. Oh. But what'd you rate it? You gave it full price?
Yeah, full price.
And Martin, you gave your wrap up. What's the rating for this?
Like usually I think of better than sex movies. That movie, like, man, it's so good you got to go see it again. Once is enough.
Yeah.
But it's rare to see something that's so emotionally effective as this, and it's for sure the best movie I've seen this year. Yeah, fuck it, I'll give it better than sex.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic film, but I won't give it a better than sex. It's definitely something you should see at least once and check it out that way. So it's a full price for me.
Honestly, one of the things that's so expert about it is how in the beginning, seeing them sing at at Motown and the part with Eazy-E and how humorous it is, you get to know them as people. That's why it means so much when it gets so dark later on.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You care about them.
Yeah. It's the best movie that I've seen this year, but it's one of the best movies I will never watch this again.
No,
ever.
man.
Ever. You have to torture me myself. You have to tie me down.